So we're going to get started. So as you can tell, Milo's not here. He is on a European tour right now with European leaders, traveling and having amazing meetings, which we'll cover in just a little bit. But I'm going to be doing the intro to today's meeting, the October Inspire Call. To start things off, we're going to go with, I believe, some important date. Oh, no. All right. First, we have this month's promo. We have the Sizzle Silver, the Sizzle Silver Serum, and the Sizzle Safe CBD 1500 mg. This has, have we done a savings? It looks like roughly, let's see, 4,900, 150. All right, so there's a pretty good savings here. There's $25, $30 savings on this pack for October while supplies last. This is a great product to have right now, especially the silver, which we'll cover more with my dad's presentation about keeping a healthy immune system as the weather's getting cold. I don't know about all of you guys, but it has been raining nonstop. And today I had to finally turn on the furnace. My shaking dog at home that was freezing cold was very happy to turn on the furnace. But it's that time of the year. It's very important to make sure that you have a healthy immune system so you don't get that common flu that's going to start coming around. All right. Up next, we have the reason why I'm introing this call today. Milo is on a tour in Latvia, which it sounds like we have some people from Latvia that just barely had a meeting last week. Hungary, and just today was their final meeting in Italy. Or was that yesterday, actually? I think that was yesterday. There has been an extremely positive view on this tour that has been extremely exciting, a great turnout. People are really starting to feel the Inspire 2023 just at the end of 2023 as we start to think about the next year's theme. So we're excited that Milo was able to get out there. This just shows that we are starting to expand and getting into the other countries and starting to launch new countries. And it's all uphill from here. If we keep talking about how every month we're getting record growth, all of the leaders, distributors, everyone's mentioning us about how this is their biggest, people are ranking up. And it's an exciting time that now we're going back to the other countries and we're opening up new areas, and it's a great time to be in Sizzle right now. Up next, we have some upcoming dates. Milo is going to be on a tour in Wisconsin from October 11th to the 14th. We'll share the addresses. October 18th is Deal of the Day. This is going to be a very good one. So everybody make sure to call in on October 18th. And make sure to call in early on October 18th. It opens up at 10 a.m. If you call in 10 a.m., it's easier to get the Deal of the Day unless you're a lot better than when you call October 19th right before the Deal of the Day ends. So make sure that you call as early as you can. And the deal is available on the website as well. But October 18th, Deal of the Day. The next date is November 6th. That is going to be our next Inspire Call. And you do not want to miss this Inspire Call. This is going to be the call that we announce the launch date and cover the holiday catalog, the 2023 holiday catalog. And we have been working extremely hard on this catalog. It is going to be one that you don't want to miss and that everybody's excited for. All right. Next slide. So Milo's going to be at a Taste and Talk with Mervyn and Martha Miller in Wisconsin at 6:30 in Vesper, Wisconsin. October 12th, he'll be at a Taste and Talk with Kenneth and Joanne Yoder in Spencer, Wisconsin at 7 p.m. October 13th, it's going to be in Kingston, but their details will be announced. October 14th, a Sizzle Fall Fun Day at Calvin and Irma Smuckers in Dalton, Wisconsin from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that sounds like a full day. Next slide. All right. So comfort and joy is going to be the theme of this holiday catalog. The launch date will be announced on the Inspire call on the 6th. You will also start seeing the holiday catalogs dropping in orders in the middle of October. So watch for those orders that you start placing in the middle of October, and watch for the announcement. We'll be selling not only a 50 pack, but also a 10 pack that you can purchase the catalog and start sharing before the catalog becomes live. So make sure to watch for that announcement in the middle of October. And be prepared for some great packs. We have new products. We have current products. We have swag, discounts, savings. It's going to be an exciting call next month, and it'll be fun to see what those order drops come in your orders in mid-October. All right. Also, some very exciting news coming in the middle of October is a new product. And this is by far my favorite seasons. This is the last Sizzle seasons that we have launched that you haven't seen yet. So we have the Harvest Spice Sizzle seasons. This is the foaming hand soap and the hand lotion. Fall already is my favorite time of the year, but this has, they all smell great, but I'm biased towards this is my favorite. This is the best smelling soap, the best smelling lotion, and you're not going to want to miss. So watch out for that announcement in the middle of October for the fall harvest season or fall harvest spice sizzle seasons. All right. Up next, we have Leisel coming on to do an interview for the distributor spotlight of October, Amos and Miriam Stoltzfus. Leisel?
Thank you, Kaden. So many cool things happening here at Sizzle as we head into fall, and then right around the corner, Christmas season. Before I talk to Amos and Miriam, and I want you guys to get ready and mute yourself, I do want to talk about our Indiana meetings, which were so cool. We had so much fun and just a great turnout, great leadership there. The bikinis were there. We had Laura and Dom. We had Anthony emceeing, Amelia helping him. And but I'm telling you, Liana was my little buddy the whole time, and we just had a blast. We had a ton of information there, and we had a social that night. And we have all said, we don't know what it is about this meeting, but there has never been a meeting this fun, this good. We don't think there ever will be. We've all just kind of decided that for Indiana. Who knows what's different, but this one was the best. And it's kind of a little inside secret, but really we had such a good time. And I'm telling you, when they plan things like socials, go. It's a blast. We had one for 2 hours that night. I will deny any pictures that shows a worm sitting on the bridge of my nose. And I never knew you could have so much fun throwing a piece of bread over your head. But the reality is you really get to know people when you do these socials, and you can talk to them. You got a couple hours where you kind of just can't in meetings. And we had a really great time. I want to just say the leadership that's kind of coming up through this group, it's a little younger group. I think it's awesome. They've got families, big families that they're raising at the same time and other things, but they are so devoted to their sizzle business. I was nothing but impressed by the leaders, how they do, them giving other responsibilities out. You can see people rising to the occasion, lots of people getting up, giving testimonials. It's an exciting place, I think, Indiana right now. And I had to say something very quick about it because I love being there. I wanted to thank all of them. We had a really good time just for the hospitality of it. And can't wait to go back. I'm sure they're going to want somebody after me, but we all agree it will never be as fun as it was this time. But distributor spotlight. We have 6-star in the house, which is very cool. I told him today, this is a very elite group. While we have more coming on and on, it still is a group that's pretty cool. I mean, there's not a ton, but it's fun to see that group growing, and it is. And this is growing now with Amos and Miriam Stoltzfus. One cool thing I was reading about them is their team. I guess they're just a great support system. And on another paper I had earlier today, it just said that their team has so much respect for them that they say, if there's a team to join, it's theirs, because just how well they support and recognize them and in their progress and success. And you can see it in their groups. So,
all right. So we'll come back to that. So Thomas was going to cover this, and unfortunately, we had livestock running down the canyon, and as all of you know, whenever that happens, it's all hands on deck. So he had to run up there. So I'm going to cover the Mower Mountain, or cover his part of the call. There's more than just Mower Mountain. But starting off, just a reminder. So Mower Mountain 2024, June 12th to the 15th, 2024, is the tickets have gone back up. So if you are looking to purchase, do it now. And it's going to be an exciting year. We're planning so much more stuff this year. It's going to be a blast. We have the experiences that we launched last call. So to go to the next one, so we have the ropes course. The ropes course is planned by the head trainer there. She is very familiar with network marketing. She is going to take not a class, but a meeting with us, a couple-hour meeting to learn everything about Sizzle. She's going to pick all of the trainings to fit what Sizzle is all about the Mower mission, about trainings, about taste and talks. She's going to do all of the trainings to create a strong team, a strong networking team to build stronger leaders under them. So she is working already on a whole course for the ropes course. We have Top Golf. This is going to be a little less of the high 30, 60 plus feet drops and trust balls and zip lines. This is going to be a little more leisure, but we have a luxury suite at Top Golf where you will have open bays where you can hit the driving course as much as you want. You can have food on the back patio. You can play cornhole, and they have these giant Connect Four everywhere, which is super cool. They have mini golf. We have the whole mini golf course rented out. That's going to be a blast. And we have Timpanogos Cave. This cave hike is one of the coolest hikes. And it's also not a terrible hike. It's nice that there is a paved path up the mountain, but you still get amazing views. You're climbing, I believe, 1.5 miles up the mountain. And the caves are essentially untouched over the couple hundred years that it's been found and discovered, but also from the thousands and thousands, if not millions of years of all of those formations being created. And it's amazing walking through those caves and seeing all of the stalactites and all of the different minerals. And you're guided with a ranger who's studied the cave. And so you learn all about the history and the science behind the cave. So that is an amazing activity as well. We also, if you notice, the Max Motion leaderboard is updated, but the Mower Mountain leaderboard will be updated on Friday. We have to close out the month, and then you'll see everyone that got the rank advancement into that leaderboard. So watch for that on Friday. You can find all of the contests. The contest has just started, so do not feel like you are behind by any means. That's still based off of the 3 R's: rank advancement, retention, and recruiting. So but those 3 R's, you could win this contest so easily. I wouldn't say easily, but you have a chance. I know there's some people, speaking of the winners, Amos right there, and Miriam, they won it this last time. So they can tell you that I doubt it was easy, but it's doable. And so the Mower Mountain contest, watch for the updates on Friday. Let's go down to the next one. Since we don't have the leaderboard until Friday, we don't know the winner, but the winner of the September prize will be the Mower Mountain water bottle, and the October prize. And this is by far one of my favorite swag items that we've done. And it shocked me because I keep it in my truck at all times. You never realize how convenient having a roll-up picnic blanket in your truck at all times is. And so this is one of my favorite swag items that we've done, and that's going to be the October prize. All right. We have the Max Motion Contest September winner, Wilmer and Leah Ruth Stoltzfus. And this blew me away. They earned 900 points. That is 6 wealth builders last month. They did incredible. And this just shows that anybody can compete in this competition still. We are at the halfway mark. We've competed for 3 months, and there's still 3 months to finish it out. The contest ends at the end of December. So this is anybody's game. And Wilmer and Leah Ruth Stoltzfus just showed that you can jump up into those top rankings in 1 month. So don't give up. And also, you're working with one of the best compensation plans. So building on the wealth builder and earning points for Max Motion earns your way. And we'll go to the winnings right after this one. The leaderboard is updated, so you can find that in your back office in the news section. And so as you can see right there, that's placed all the way down to 31. And then 48 distributors are tied at 32nd with 50 points. So it just shows that anybody can compete with selling the Max Motion Wealth Builder. And what do you get for competing? Just a reminder. So there's almost $10,000 in winnings in this competition. First place is a 4-night stay at our family lodge. I should change that wording, not cabin. This is a full-on lodge in the Rocky Mountains on our ranch down in Mount Pleasant. You get a Supernaturals tour, which is awesome. You get paid travel expense to Utah and their +1, and you can bring up to 15 guests. The last time Kaden and Doris won this was one of the funnest trips. We did the red carpet event. We went down, we hung out at the cabin, we explored the outdoors, we looked for elk and deer. It was a great trip, and this is still the first place winning for the Max Motion contest. So if you haven't been competing, start. If you're close, let's finish it strong. We're at the halfway mark. All right. So, and then second place is the full year supply of Max Motion. Third place is a half year supply of Max Motion. And then we're doing those monthly winners that Wilmer and Leah Ruth Stoltzfus just won. All right. So I think Amos and Miriam Stoltzfus are back on. So we're going to go back to you, Leisel.
Thank you. They are back on. One thing I wanted to mention, and it's something that we hear when we have these leaders come on. I was reading that as Miriam started this business, that she said, I'll support, I'll help anybody, I could talk to people about products and train them. I do not want to get up and talk in front of people. I just don't want to. And she's, from what I hear, does a great job with that. That's kind of what a lot of people say in the beginning. But I love to always see him. I've seen some joking just this last time in Indiana. I remember years ago, him saying, I don't want to be on stage. And he got up there and he gave us all some great, enthusiasm, pep talk, and got the crowd going. And I thought it's super cool. So Miriam and Amos, are you guys with us now? You are on. Welcome. So glad we wanted to hear from you guys tonight. So I was hoping you guys could get the connection. So congratulations, 6-star. That's very cool. When did you guys first start Sizzle?
Yeah, Leisel, thanks for having us on. And we started in July of 2013.
Okay. And I think I'd read something that you were product users at first. Did you have a specific product or, a health issue, or like what made you really start to look at Sizzle as far as product wise?
Yes. So I was struggling with my energy and with my health. And it's kind of interesting because I had this Princess House party that was booked at my house. And yeah, I was just really struggling. So I just told Rose, she's my sponsor. I said that I'm just not going to be able to go through with that party, that I just don't have energy. I'm just not sure what's going on. And then she reached out to me and she was like, have you ever heard of the Sizzle products? And something she said was she thinks I should go and get myself tested for Lyme's. And in the meantime, she's going to give me a few products to try to see if it makes a difference. And it did. It made a difference right away. I felt the difference. And then also in the meantime, my test results came back positive. And then, yeah, it just went from there. And like I said, it just right away, I felt a difference. It definitely was a journey, but it was something that, I knew I wanted to take them.
And did I read right that your husband also had Lyme disease?
Yes, his family had Lyme's disease, was very familiar with Lyme's disease. And he was very anti network marketing at the time. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to let him give a few words because he has a better way of explaining kind of his feelings on that. So I'm going to.
Absolutely, because that's my next question is, when did you guys start to kind of look at this business? When Amos, did you kind of look at Sizzle and start to think, I kind of want to do this as a business?
I would say it was still fairly quickly, simply because at that point, I had been battling the Lyme disease for maybe, 5-6 years, and I had pretty well given up that anyone's ever going to come up with a product to help with that. I mean, that was 10 years ago. And then it wasn't long after she came to me with this product for her, and I said, okay, fine. But then I started sneaking it out of the fridge when she wasn't looking. And, it still didn't take long until we realized that there's something different here. There's something different about this product. I remember a camping trip we had soon after that, and we just expected the usual crash after that weekend. Took us a couple of days to get over it usually. And there was none of that. And we had been probably on Fucoidan in eternity, maybe 2 weeks at that point. So it wasn't very long until we realized there's something different about this product. So, yeah, it was fairly quickly where we realized we've got something here. But even then, the network marketing part, it took a while, a couple of months maybe, to really kind of wrap my head around the whole network marketing process and how to do it right, because so many people had tried to sell me their products in the past when I was struggling with the Lyme, and I just wasn't interested. So then I realized there's great mentors out there, Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, industry leaders that I could learn from in doing it correctly. So, yeah.
I love that. So you kind of went through an education process.
Well, you don't want to get in the community bonus pool.
Sorry, I had a little interruption, but so you kind of have an education process there. And, a couple months is not a long time. There are some distributors, that can kind of take years to kind of see that. But One thing I really love about testimonials is when you hear other people's testimonials, you're interested, but when you have your own, like you and Miriam did with Lyme disease and your progress that you had with the product and success with that, it's a completely different thing, isn't it? Because then you can go out there and talk to people, about your experience. So what did you guys do from there? Did you just start branching out? Go ahead, Amos.
So it was.
So yeah, very much so. There was, so we had our own testimony, and so that's where we started sharing product and building by sharing product. And to this day, I have to admit, I struggle recruiting. I struggle with leading the opportunity by opportunity, which Sizzle has a wonderful opportunity. Absolutely lead by opportunity and build a business around the opportunity. But because that was how we found success early on, was through product, that's so ingrained in us now. That's very much how we do, is just lead with the product, and then, they become customers or some as distributors, but even not interested in building, but then soon they have their own experience with the product, and then they want to build as well. And then bit by bit, it just from there, snowballs from there,
Yeah. Miriam, did you want to say something?
Yeah, we did start with, Miriam was right there by our side. We did a few taste and talks. And we had, I think we became 3-star pretty quick. But then we moved away from the community. And yeah, in that stage of our life, it kind of came to a standstill. And that's the beauty of network marketing. You can, if you have, things set in motion, you can, when life gets in the way, you can do that. And it's, the residual income is still there. And then, once I wanted to get back into it again, I just, did it in a way that fit my stage of life then. And it's just been a fun journey.
And that's the great thing about owning your own business, right? Pick it up as you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So then you guys branch out. Like I said, I've just read a few cool things about you guys, and you definitely have the respect from your team. They say that you are a great example of doing exactly what you guys say, and that if there's anybody to follow in this business, it's you guys. So that was kind of cool to read that today. Do you guys have any things that you do that you think really help your team, to support your team? I know people do taste and talks, newsletters. Right? Do you guys kind of do that, or anything else that you guys like to do?
Yes, we have found, or I have found, if I couldn't go out and about as much, I did really enjoy the newsletters. And also at that time of my life, I did ads, which created lots of leads. And the cool thing about that is you have leads that you can work with for a long time. And that's kind of where we're at now. We're working with some of those distributors from the leads. And it's a process. Just keep doing those little things and just keep building relationships and connecting with them. And it's just so much fun what can come out of that. You just need to give yourself time. You just need to, connect on their level and invest in their life, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah, I like that. Invest in their life, because that's kind of what you're doing. I had lunch with some distributors, a husband and wife team who are just awesome, and they said the same thing, that they're seeing a lot of success in placing ads, people calling on that. When you guys place ads, are you talking about the business or product, or how do you lead with your ads?
So I kind of played around with it. I think I was doing it for almost 2.5 years solid. And I did the business. I played around with different ads. First, I did the business, but I had the most success with products. and often a giveaway. People like, you need to set yourself apart. And yeah, just something that gets them to, give you a call. And then you have their phone number, you have their address, and then you can do whatever with that lead. You can send samples with the brochures, you can send newsletters and follow up with the newsletter. Like, I made a commitment to give newsletters maybe for 3 or 4 months and then follow up and say, so how do you like the newsletters? If it does not interest you, I do not want to keep sending them. It's no pressure. Just things like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not a cold calling type of person, but if I have something to call them back about, I love doing that.
I like your approach there too, of calling them or meeting up with them and just saying, hey, I'm sending these. Do you like them? Would you like me to stop? And, being really respectful of what they want and still making contact with them. So I think that's awesome. A great way to approach that, Miriam. One thing too, again, as I talked to a lot of distributors this last weekend, many of them talk about the fear of getting up and talking to others. How long did that take you? Because it says you overcame your fears of that, and now you get up there, and that take you a while.
It did. Yeah, it definitely did. And I just remember in 2022, the word of the year was breakthrough. Mm-hmm. And that I decided to take that serious. And I think, as we all know, fear holds us back from many opportunities. And I became very intentional about recognizing that fear. I think we don't do ourselves justice by just not acknowledging that fear. I just wanted to push it aside, act like nothing's wrong. I'm okay. But I feel like once I faced the fear, I was intentional about, why is this so hard? Why am I so scared? It made a huge difference. And even just admitting I am scared, but it's okay. And allowing myself to make those mistakes and knowing that I'm not going to get it right the first time or the second time or the third time, but it's okay. I'm going to keep going, and it takes practice. And it's one of the quotes that I really loved that helped me was, instead of avoiding failure, I'll bravely step into the fun of the adventure. And then in the middle of it, I'll love people with a heart of intentional love and purpose.
I love that. Well, in wrapping this up, why don't I give you and Amos a chance to just kind of talk about what you're doing, maybe your team, anything you want about, Sizzle and what you're doing. And we're super proud of you guys. 6 stars, a really big deal. And just any words on, what you guys plan on, and anything you want to tell everybody on the call.
So in wrapping this up, I just often think of what I learned in the early days of researching network marketing in general. And when I listened to some of Ray Higdon's podcasts, he would talk about ILT method: invest, learn, teach. And that is so true today yet. Whether you're new in the business, you've been in the business a while, ILT, first you invest your time, you research it, you educate yourself, and that's the L, that's the learn, and then you teach, and you just let that process flow through you and into the people around you that you get to talk with, and to your leads. Somehow generate leads. Somehow you need to find people to talk to, whether it's cold market, just talking to people, or advertising, which is our favorite method. Warm someone up first before we talk to them. That's where we find the best success. But both methods work. There's so many different angles to take. It's not that one method is so much better than the other, but each person can find what they can do in their own space. So
that's right. And just to kind of add on that, Amos, I think, when you get into this business, there's a lot, and you've mentioned some of the leaders out there who give great teachings on how this business is done. And you just gave a great 3, points on what you do, and repeat. There's a lot of resources out there. So, look out there for people, and you'll find maybe you like one more than the other, but I think everyone would be surprised at all the resources that can complement your sizzle business. So I love that you brought all those up, Amos. So very cool. And Miriam?
Yeah. Again, what you do changes with the different stages of your life. Like, I used to not be such a big person to just go out and do tasting talks, but it's happening pretty fast. We have quite a few lined up now, just from, the last couple of years, just doing things over the phone. And now it's moving into tasting talks in different areas. And we're very excited about that. So yeah, my message is just embrace the moment and just keep doing the little things, and you'll be amazed at, what comes your way. And yeah, thanks so much to you, Leisel, and the Mowers and everybody. We were out there in Mower Mountain, and it just broadened our perspective, and we just loved you guys. So yeah, just thanks for everything that you do.
Well, you guys are a great team and a great couple, and everything we read and hear about you guys, obviously you guys are still going to be growing, and we can't wait to see and support you in any way we can. Thanks for getting on the call with us tonight. It's been awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome. Thanks to you as well.
Kaden, I'll give it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Amos and Miriam, for hopping on the call. It does always remind me, this is one of my favorite parts of the call, just how Amos starting off was listening to podcasts and different people who've been successful in the industry. That's why it's so important having the spotlight every month and being able to read about that and hearing from you guys and what's working where you're at, and maybe some other. I mean, I hope that even if it's just one person out there listens and hears something that can help them change their life and somebody else's, it's all worth it. So thank you for hopping on. I'm going to bring on my dad now, as I was explaining that it's getting cold and everybody's starting to see the flu coming around. And let's see what pointers he has on using sizzle products to help build your immune system.
Thanks, Kaden, and it's great to be here tonight. And I always enjoy the spotlight because I can see those who follow the admonition of our father, Tom Sr. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And when I hear Miriam and Amos talk about their story to success and sharing and building their business, they're having fun. This is really a fun business. And the opportunity that Sizzle has from a business building, but also on a nutritional and safe personal care products. Wow, that's a 1-2 that can only do one thing and make you successful if you grab that opportunity and share it. But today, Kaden hit it. It's winter's around the corner, and it's starting to get cold, and it's time to talk about cold and flu season. And, one thing, we think about cold weather and we think about, increases in colds and flus, and it's really not the cold weather that makes us sick. When we talk about the flu, the virus lives longer in a little cooler, a less humid environment than it does in the summer and the spring and early fall. And then when it is cold outside, what do? We cluster together, in our homes, churches, schools. We get large groups of people, and there is where you want to have a strong immune system. And so, an immune system is throughout our whole body. We talk about our respiratory system. We talk about our circulatory system. But the immune system's the same way. In fact, Lisa, let's play a little game of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. And so you can point as I call out a few of these things. Where are your tonsils, Lisa? Yep, your adenoids. your thymus, your spleen, your Pryor's patch, your small intestine, your large intestine, your spleen. These all are all organs and vessels within inside of our body that make up our immune system. And then we have lymph nodes throughout all of our body connected with a lymphatic vessel to move these toxins to these lymph nodes about the size of a bean that are all through our body to destroy these unwanted substances. And so really a fully functional immune system can distinguish between healthy tissue and unwanted substances. You know, we always hear the term autoimmune, disorder or disease. What is that? Well, that's really when our body's confused, kind of like Leisel in the morning. What do I wear? The blue outfit, the red outfit? I'm confused. And our bodies are that way when we can't, when it can't distinguish health from an antigen, which is an unwanted substance in our body, and that's an autoimmune disorder. And then there's so many things that we come in contact with in the environment, what we breathe and what we inhale, not just bacteria and dust and things like that, but also, sometimes you need chemotherapy. Well, that can really lower your immune system. And sometimes people take antibiotics, and then all of a sudden they'll have other types of disorders because their immune system's out of balance. And so a really well harmonic system makes you the healthiest person in the room. When you're sitting there with 50 people, and guess what? And all of a sudden 10 people get the flu. What's the difference? Usually on the degree of their immune system, how well in balance it is. So today we want to talk a little bit about some of the products that we have, going back 35, 40 years of investing into products that make us healthier through natural substances and herbs and vitamins and things. If we learned one thing about COVID that really came out, you need to take zinc, you need to take vitamin C, you need to take vitamin D. Those things really had a great impact on the amount of damage COVID did to their system. And that, when we can really broaden that, and that's what we've done over decades with Sizzle, is we have researched those things that have the biggest impact, in this case, on our immune system. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. What we're really addressing is a micronutrient malnutrition, because these vitamins, these minerals, these anthocyanidins, these phenolic acid, these proanthocyanidins, these different components are used to manufacture basically the soldiers of our immune system that do different things. And if they're, deficient in this vitamin or in this mineral or this substance, the immune system's weakened. So let's go through just a few of the products that we have tonight that are really effective in this. Now, this product is named correctly, and that is Body Shield, because every single cell of your body is made up of matter, substance, and it's made up of, carbon, water, but it's all made up of minerals. And we know, going back here in America, Europe, it's even worse, that over farming, we have to farm, we have to have food, but by not putting the trace minerals back in to the soil, the food has gone way down, many cases 70, 80, 90% in minerals, and especially trace minerals, because they're not macro minerals, they're not huge, you lose. I mean, now we know what the significance in fighting viruses with copper is. Well, that's not in a lot of soil at a high level, so it quickly diminishes. So with Body Shield, we take, 10 million year old rainforests that are just rich and ripe with this trace minerals, but they're ionic in form. They're easily absorbable in our body, but they contain what that plant 10 million years ago used to make them ionic and also highly absorbable, just like plants do today, and that's fulvic acid. Now, we combine this with the power of limamui. We talk about, iodine. You need to have iodine in your system. That's really a key component to having a very high immune system also that's working well. And so let's go to the next. Now, so as we, have these fulvic acids in our system, we're supplying these trace minerals, different antioxidants. We talk about supporting regenerative and restorative properties. Let's talk about oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? We hear that term a lot also. Our cells in our body are producing free radicals, and they're an oxygen species. Well, what happens with oxygen in water on iron? Creates rust. These oxygen species that our cells are producing and eliminating into our system, they need to have antioxidants to neutralize those. And you'll see that is a common theme. Let's go to the next. Throughout many of our products, I'll always try to add different types of antioxidants. Now, I said iodine, limamui comes from the ocean, high in iodine. This helps thyroid support. And so we have a great source of antioxidants in this. One key component to an immune system is having, when we ingest something, it goes into our stomach and it has a pH of about 2.3. It's very acidic. That will destroy some. As we move through our digestive system, pH increases to help us absorb different fats and oils in our diet, but that also becomes toxic to some types of bacteria. Fulvic acid, trace minerals help to maintain the body's pH. You'll hear a lot about that. Let's go to the next. Avenger. Well, Amos and Miriam were talking a lot about Lyme's disease. And so years ago, this is a product that I wanted to put together, because when people say, I have Lyme's disease, well, what does that mean? It affects everybody a little different. But what we do know, in an interesting correlation, as nutrition values have gone down, Lyme's disease has gone up. So we can see that there is a correlation with that. Now, I put together a formulation here that, from everything that I have seen in the world, is the most effective, because what happens is Lyme's disease lowers your immune system to where other diseases can take hold. Some people will say it's muscle cramps and aches and headaches, and some people will be nauseated, and some people are fatigued all the time, and some people want to sleep all the time. Some people are restless, and so it doesn't affect the same two people the same way. And so what I put together here, monolaurin, which is a very natural substance. It comes from coconut oil. Monolaurin is a substance found in breast milk, to help keep an infant healthy, really boosts our immune system. It also is very effective against, it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, because many of the substances that we can take can not only nutrify and help have lymphocytes and killer T cells, and because there's different types of cells within the immune system. If you have lymphocytes, they have a memory, and so they're the ones that produce antibodies. Like if you've had chicken pox or mumps or measles, you have antibodies against that. So when you become exposed to it, there's a high likelihood that you won't get that once again. But other things what am I thinking here? Other types of cells don't have that memory. They're specific to attack neutrophils, different types of things like that. Anyway, monolaurin is great for antiviral, antibacterial. Chaga we have in the coffee also. This helps reduce that oxidative stress. It neutralizes the free radicals that our cells are producing that weaken our immune system. More powerful antioxidants with olive leaf and cat's claw. Historically, red root has been a great lymphatic system as we move these toxins through our body to the lymph nodes to be neutralized. Ashwagandha has some properties like limamui. It's very adaptogenic in that it helps our body with all types of stress. It's not as incredible as limamui as far as multifunctional, but to a large degree it is. Allicin from garlic, great for heart health. It helps to reduce inflammation in our body. Many scientists believe that if we can reduce inflammation, we can live much longer. And I agree with that very wholeheartedly. Inflammation is one of the largest problems that we have. Limonene, which is found in most all citrus, but in this case we use it from the lime extract, once again, helps to balance blood sugar, but it helps to alkalize our body. And we're talking about very 0.001 is quite a shift in blood pH. But we absorb oxygen, nutrients. We're much healthier when we do that. Something traditionally that people have used because the bioflavonoids in it is elderberry. And this is a very strong antioxidant. It's been used by indigenous people to reduce stress, arthritis symptoms, many different things throughout the years. But people have noticed that it definitely helps them with vision, but immune system is why we have it in here with the Avenger. Let's go to the next. Influence, and this is named for the right reason, for cold and flu season. Now, when we talk about these things, and it's once we get sick, we think, what do I need to take? I need vitamin C, I need vitamin D, zinc, influence. These, even though we talk about cold and flu season, obviously these are things that we take throughout the year. It's the old thing about an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. And I'll tell you just one study that I read about vitamin C. And what they found is that they took 92 runners that ran an ultra marathon, which is 56 miles. I mean, what a grueler that would be. And they put half of those runners on a placebo, the other half on just 600 milligrams of vitamin C 2 weeks before they were to run. And then what they thought they would do is after the race, because that kind of run gives you a lot of respiratory issues. I mean, a lot of hard physical exercise is good, but too much is actually degrading to your body. And 56-mile run is really something else, running a couple of marathons. And so what they found is that the half that took vitamin C, about 2 weeks later, 33% of them had respiratory cold type symptoms. But those who didn't take vitamin C, 68% did. Tells you a lot. Non-runners didn't have as many didn't have quite a disparity in respiratory tract and cold, but if they were not running, what they found is the symptoms went down about 30% quicker on those who had something as basic as vitamin C. But this is only one ingredient, even though it affects over 200 different biochemical mechanisms within our body. But there are so many more things out there because this isn't one organ or one area of the immune system. Like I was talking about, the thymus, the tonsils, the spleen, the appendix, everything needs something different because all of the different cells need different types of nutrition because they do different things. Macrophages and lymphocytes don't work the same. Killer T cells don't work the same. And so influence is designed to help with the response of the immune system. It has powerful antioxidants to reduce oxidative stress, but it supports a lot of the killer T cells. Let's go to the next. And there's studies on some of these ingredients in vitro. But here's some of the ingredients that we have to this. Anthocyanidins. These are very powerful antioxidants. Lactoferrin, once again, breast milk and other substances for infants to develop an immune system. Lots of good studies there. curcumin that we have in quite a few ingredients. This supports specifically killer T cells, B cells, or these are lymphocytes actually, that retain the memory that can help us form antibodies when we're exposed to something again. Star anise. Now, if you've ever heard of Tamiflu, this is a prescription medication that came out a few years ago that's very effective in reducing the symptoms of flu. Well, guess where the active comes from? Star anise. And we have that in here too. Quercetin. Back to elderberry that we talked about in Body Shield. Quercetin is a high ingredient in elderberry also. Zinc, boy, with COVID, we found out how important that is for the immune system. And the same with selenium. Let's go with the next. Micronized silver. Tetrasilver, tetraoxide. This is a great product here, something that I've studied silver for many decades to find one that was small enough, effective enough, and removable from our system enough that I could bring it to the Sizzle family of products. This is really a contact ingredient. More than nutrifying a system, this is highly effective when it comes in contact with many pathogens. Historical people, before science was even developed, they saw that things did not go rancid for a reason. They saw water stayed fresher. They saw wounds healed quicker. And that was just the old elemental types of silver that they were getting very small amounts of dilution into their system. This is a very highly effective form. Topical, people use it for topical use. They use it for different skin abrasions. It promotes healing. But also people are using it as a mouthwash to help sanitize and clean that way too. Let's go to the next. Spectramax. If you look out there, I have never found a more broad spectrum form to get a variety of fruits and vegetables in your daily diet. One of the main reasons that you hear as people get older, they hit 65, their immune systems decrease, and a lot of that is because they eat less, and the variety that they eat becomes much smaller too. They don't experiment with different fruits and vegetables because there's big health in that, because they contain so many different types of chemicals, natural chemicals within those different plants when we eat a wide variety. And this is very common knowledge that a wide variety diet keeps you healthier. And if you were to go out on the internet, you would not find a product that contained so many different types of fruits and vegetables. This gives us a wide variety of antioxidants. There's over 1,000 man-made chemicals made every year, and they produce free radicals, and we ingest many of them. We put them on skin care, hair care. We don't at Sizzle, but our competitors do. You need this natural defense in your system. Let's go to the next. Here's some of the products we have. Once again, we have trace minerals in this. We have the fulvic acid. I'm going to give you in a lot of different products. These are real foundational ingredients that you'll find in many of the things that we do. Everything from, like Vital Vision, there's a lot of antioxidant value in that. But fulvic acid, because the nutrition that we receive every day at the store is very deficient in ionic minerals. Let's go to the next. So Amos and Miriam said something very interesting about breakthrough. And today we had a conversation, we had the connect call, we had the breakthrough call. And this year it is about inspire and inspiring people to become what they want to be. And it's really as simple as how people look at things, because it's out there for each of us to help other people. And that's really one of the great things I enjoy about Sizzle is the fact that we see people becoming more than they thought they possibly could be. And when I see people become successful, it's because of the outlook they have in life. I'm reminded of another Thomas Edison, when I think about that. And in an interview, he developed the light bulb, one of the greatest inventions ever to come about. And Thomas Edison, he spent years developing something that we think now is very common, which is the light bulb. And a reporter said, "Wow, how many times did you fail?" And he said, "Never." He said, "Well, how many inventions did you have before you developed the light bulb?" He said, "I had 400. And he said, "That must have been disappointing every time." And he said, "It wasn't, because I learned 400 ways not to make a light bulb. And I have learned thousands of ways not to make a shampoo, not what vitamins don't go with other nutrients. I have learned tens of thousands of great lessons." And what that means to Sizzle and to my family who use these products too is we have roughly 80 SKUs of products. And I found 10,000 ways not to make those. And the very best we have at Sizzle. This is a great opportunity. And as Tom Sr. said, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And I'm going to add too that you're not looking at it right, because every single day is an opportunity to inspire others and receive what you want in life. And Sizzle is the vehicle to take you there. Kaden, back to you.
I think that's the end of the call. So thank you everybody for hopping on, and everyone have a good night.